Hey. Uh, uh. Good God. What? Hey. Yeah. Uh. Welcome to another episode of Storytime with BDD. I'm your host, BDD, aka Brooklyn Dad, and this is Storytime. Cling, cling. Welcome, guys. Happy Friday. I thought I would pump up the 70s. The 70s vibe with a very happy Friday intro for you guys. Yeah, and this is fake bling, but it's bling enough for me. Anyway, we have some stories to get into today. A lot of stuff has happened since I last saw you last night, and we're going to cover all of that in our stories of the day. Stories of the day. President Biden orders an airstrike on a target in Syria, prompting backlash from both sides. President Biden also visits Texas in the aftermath of their winter disaster. A parliamentarian suggests removing the $15 minimum wage from the COVID relief bill. Want to see a pile of burning tires? Tune in to CPAC in Orlando. And last but not least, Mitch McConnell is today's You Raggedy Mitch. You Raggedy Mitch. All right, so a few things I wanted to cover first. Yeah, as you've noticed, Brooklyn Dad has fun with these wigs. Yeah, it was wifey's idea, and I was like, that's brilliant. Because it's fun. It's just dress up. Who the hell cares, man? We're stuck at home in a goddamn pandemic lockdown. You gotta try to make the best of what you can with what you get, right? Right. So a few things. Last night, some of you who were on towards the end of the show noticed you witnessed a rare and uncharacteristic outburst by yours truly. And at first I was recalcitrant and I was like, oh man, I really kind of regretted that outburst, right? But I thought about it. I showed my son too. I was like, F-bombs and everything. I don't usually like to curse in front of the kids. They know if I curse, I'm really mad because I keep it civil. I like to keep it civil. But every once in a while, a troll will tick my nerve on the wrong day. And like I said, usually I'm like, no big deal. No, I get dozens of them every day. Trust me, believe me. But he was very amused by when I told him, something like, you want new content? You give it to me, or something like that. Yeah, it was cool. Anyway, so I'm good. I'm all good. And I just want to thank you guys for the support that you guys give me on a regular basis. And that brings me to point number 2 I wanted to bring up. This is actually kind of big news. I don't know if you guys can see on the chat, but my show now qualifies for something called super chats. The real Beta O'Rourke is saying, you need to leave. Yeah. So if you guys remember when we were on Periscope, we used to have that thing called Super Hearts. And Super Hearts was like, you guys kick me $1 tip or whatever if you're having a good time enjoying the show. So now, thanks to you guys, I can only thank you because obviously I didn't do it myself. It's you guys made me qualify for super chat thing on the chat. So if you feel like, if you got an extra buck or two or whatever, just kick it my way, and I appreciate it very much. Thank you. I don't know if this is my first broadcast, my first stream since learning. Oh, it works. Your boy Ken just hit me with $4.99. I thank you, your boy Ken. That is groovy. That's your boy Ken. You're the first one. That's nice. I love it. I love it so much. I don't know how you do it because I have actually never done it myself. That is the first super chat donation I have received on this show. So your boy Ken, and there's Tracy M with the second one. So your boy Ken and Tracy M, if you guys have figured it out, please fill in the rest of the crew how to do it. Ricky is asking, how do we do it? How do you send it? You have to jump onto the YouTube. Watch it from the YouTube thing. Oh my goodness. Oh, you guys are too much, man. We got Jen and Fat Tony with the $4.99 donation. I'm just gonna round it up to $5, right? Thank you, Jen and Fat Tony. We got Cindy in Alaska hit me with the $5. Misha Oliver with the $5. Cha-Cha from Seattle. Patricia, I think that's Patty Duke for life. I could be mistaken. Patricia Pueyes. And Julian Gutierrez is the big spender for today with the $10. You guys, this is so cool. Pamela, thank you so much for the $5. And Sandra from Paramount, California with the $5. Bless you. Wait a minute. Wait. Yeah. Wait. Okay. Thank you, guys. All right. So, excuse me. Let's see. So, I guess I'll jump right into, oh my goodness, we got from the Queen of the South. This is C from Kansas City with the $10. Thank you so kindly. And Watcher Soko with the $5 spot. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to jump right into the timeline cleanse. Timeline cleanse. Doom, doom, doom. And Tina G, my dear, thank you so kindly. She says, pair character lifting some weights Oh, did you throw? Yeah, okay. So also there are stickers you guys can throw up there too. I didn't realize that. I've totally forgot about that. Thank you so much. And Anson Wang says, talk about Syrian bombing. My friend, I guarantee you that is on the agenda for today's show. Asmila J, Chloe, and Solid Blue Sister. Bless you guys. Thank you for the $5 donations. I really appreciate it. Okay, so I'm gonna and Amanda Crawford and Regina Clark and Punxsutawney Mo. You guys are so beautiful. I love you. Don't make me cry, please. I don't want to be verklempt. All right. All right. So you guys have been following along with me on the saga of Rain, our pup, and the kittens, Kobe and Mars, right? Of how they are getting together. Well, I have good news to deliver to you guys that they are finally like this now. It's very nice. You like? Yes, I love it so much. Fox Hill Dreams, Deborah B. Thank you for the $5. And Pasta D with the $10, please. Thank you. And Hilda Baiza with the $5. Thank you so much. You too, Adrian Gladish. All right, without further ado, I give you Cats and Dog Sleeping Together. This is great. Look. It's so great. There's Rainy right there. Look at her ears sticking straight up. This is so beautiful. It's so great. Matt Meehan, buddy, thank you for the $5. Yeah, so I just I positively love that, and it was all their own doing. Rainey behaves herself. She likes to sniff. Which one is it? Kobe. Yeah, Kobe is the one that they like to sniff each other's noses. It's very cute. Thank you, Bernadette, for the $5. You too, Cold Blue. And Michelle with the $5. She says, this is a cool feature. Click on the bar above. Okay. And yes, Samantha, that's one elbow point for me. Now, next up, when I was younger, I used to enjoy imitating my grandpa. My grandpa, God rest his soul, he was from Indonesia. He was born and raised there, and then he came over here, to America during World War II. And he had, even when we were, many years later, when we were young, me and Scribble My Dibbles, he had the thickest Indonesian accent you can possibly imagine. So I used to love imitating him, yeah, so Gavin and, hey, Scribble My Dibbles. There she is. He would call it nickel. And he used to have us walk on his back. Both of us at the same time, we'd walk on his back and he'd be like, yo! Nicole and I would be cracking up. Anyway, I found an adorable video of a very tiny baby who does a spot-on job of imitating her grandpa.
Do it. Walk like G-Pa. There you go.
Look
like
at Look at.
Do it, girl. Do it.
She's smiling too. Oh, that's great. Hey, and thank you, Jamie, also for the $5. I thank you so kindly. That's beautiful. I just love it. This is what the timeline cleanse is for. It's just like shit that has nothing to do with anything other than just, putting a smile on your face. Last but not least, I am a bit of an astronomy nerd. Not astrology, but astronomy, looking at the stars. And whoa, Midas Cat hit me up with the $20 donation. Thank you so kindly, Midas Cat. That's very generous. Thank you. So as we all know, the rover Perseverance has touched down recently in Mars, and we are getting our first look at the stars from Mars. Check it out. Check it out. Thank you, Lumpy Girl. Thank you. It's Mars, guys. It's so beautiful. It's even more beautiful than my swooshy handwriting. Oh my God. That is astounding. I mean, I can't even imagine. I wouldn't mind going to Mars if there was a way back. As it stands right now, you go to Mars, that's where you live. There's no returning from Mars because we haven't figured out the whole fuel situation yet. You can get there, but you can't get back. That's a one-way trip. But you know, it's mysterious. It's cold. It's probably kind of dangerous. It is COVID-free, as Starship says. As far as we know, it's COVID-free. Well, you know, but yeah, I wouldn't mind going. Now, as promised, Hey, Gina Potter, thank you for the $5. Excuse me. As promised, God damn it. Wifey and I got back from walking rain last night, and we learned that Joe Biden approved the bombing of Syria. Oops, let me go back. Yeah. And this came as a shock to me when I first heard about the bombing. Literally, my first reaction was, what? Why? It's 37 days into his presidency, and already he's dropping bombs. Already. The Trumpers, the next thing I thought was the Trumpers and the folks on the far left are going to go to town on this. They've been waiting for this. In fact, they weren't even waiting for this. They were already jumping on whatever criticism, minor criticism. But this is not minor criticism. We've been talking all the time about stopping the endless wars. And what do? 37 days in, boom, we're dropping a bomb. And, you know, I'm feeling like this is not what I voted for. Meanwhile, voices on the left or right are like, yes, you did. You did vote for this. You know it. No, I didn't. None of us voted for Joe Biden thinking, oh man, I can't wait till he drops some bombs on some brown people because that's what we're about. No, that's not what we're about at all. So apparently this was a retaliatory, I'm getting to that. Julian Gutierrez asking what is the reason, and LN, what reason was given. So it was a retaliatory strike, right, on Iranian-backed militia. See, Syria is like, Syria is that country that is in the middle of everybody's fight. Syria is like the proxy place. If you want to get back at Russia, you bomb Syria. You want to get back at Iraq, you bomb Syria. Apparently, that's the thing. And it's not just Joe Biden. It's not just Joe Biden. You know, in the past, Trump has bombed Syria. And I'm not saying like, oh, well, Trump did it, you know. I'm saying Trump did it. President Obama did it. Anita, thank you for the $5. Thank you. And American presidents have been bombing the Middle East for as long as I can remember. As long as I can remember. And does that help the military industrial complex? It most certainly does. Shishi, my goodness, with the kind $10 donation. Thank you, Shishi. That is very awesome of you. Excuse me. So yeah, they've been doing it. This was the missile strike from Trump. And it's not just America either. Russia is bombing targets in Syria. Israel is bombing targets in Syria. But at the middle of all this is the people. Imagine if your town looked like this. How devastating that would be. This is what Syrian people are living with on a daily basis, every day, every month, every year. This is what they have to look forward to. That's terrifying. And for what? To send a message. Apparently, this was the thing. It was recommended. The strike was recommended by General Lloyd Austin, the guy who was just confirmed as the Secretary of Defense. Excuse me. And this is what can I say? Is this defensible? No, I don't think bombing is ever defensible. They said that they were striking back, and some of the politicians on the right, like Marco Rubio, said that this was warranted, it was justified, and it was scaled in proportion to the event, right? So when I hear this coming from guys like Marco Rubio, I'm like, oh shit, this was probably definitely wrong, not the right thing to do. So they said that this was a border crossing station in Syria in response to recent attacks against American and coalition personnel in Iraq. Now, if you get hit by someone, should you hit back? Usually the answer to that is yes. Yeah? Somebody slaps you upside the head, I've told all my kids, you are well within your rights to slap them the hell back. But if somebody slaps you, do you go and get a gun and shoot them and kill the rest of their family? No, you do not. So that's what they're talking about when they talk about the response being proportionate, right? So they're saying this is a proportionate response. They said a handful of military targets, people, were killed. Doesn't make it right, but it makes it less shitty than we hit a whole neighborhood full of civilians. And we still don't even know we still don't even know all of the fallout from this yet. We don't have the intel, because the fog of war prevents us from getting accurate data because we're not in that circle of need to know. Fox Hill Dreams is asking if James M is a troll. Anson Wang says multiple were civilians. Okay. I hadn't heard that. So let's say James Mascai is a troll. Did anybody investigate that? We got our trusty moderators here in the audience. So you guys, sort that out. You have my permission to hit them with the thumbs of doom. He was a troll. Thank you, Trump Reaper. Smila J says, we got him. Got him. They said the facilities were used by Iranian-linked Iraqi militias, and that earlier this month, rocket fire in northern Iraq killed a contractor working with the U.S. military and injured a U.S. service member. So there it is. The criticism is from the left and the right are going to come regardless. James said he reported wifey. Oh yeah, then you need to leave. How dare he? Yeah, thank you, moderators. You guys are awesome. Watcher Soko says it was a weapons depot. Okay, I thank you for that. And Anson Wang seems to have some interesting information. He says our drone program is very inaccurate with the real civilian death rate over 50% compared to terrorist suspects. That is an interesting statistic, and I'm inclined to believe it because, yeah, the droning thing is not good. James wants to know, why was he banned? Dude, if you threatened my wife with any kind of retaliation or any kind of reporting or trolling, then you got to get the hell out. Period. Why were you banned? I guess you guys didn't get him because he's got a Philadelphia Eagles logo. Is that the same James? James is a pretty common name. He says, you could have just explained it to me, but you had to ban me. Why do I still see his comments? I'm just going to block him. Boom. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So that's my spin on the Syria bombing. I hate it. I hate all war. I don't think it's right. Ramona, thank you for the super hearts. And if we're going to piss on the folks on the right for bombing brown people, we got to piss on the folks on our side for the same shit. We got to be consistent. And there were quite a few people who also disagreed with this bombing. Bernie Sanders, this was not approved by Congress. That's his issue. Tim Kaine also came out. Ro Khanna came out against it. And even Adam Schiff was like, yeah, they notified us, but they didn't give us anywhere. They just, this was an inadequate notification in his opinion. So yeah, they got to stop that. Nip that shit in the bud now. No more wars. We're trying to close these things down, not add to them. Syria is like a smoldering pile of ash already. Doesn't need any more bombs being dropped there. It's disgusting. Okay, moving right along. God damn it. President Biden visits Texas. And that whole Syria bombing, it really pisses me off. Star Shumate didn't notify the Gang of Eight like a few minutes before it happened. They notified them. So this bombing casts a pall, a long dark shadow on the shiny new presidency of Joe Biden. I was feeling, up until yesterday, like this dude is knocking it out of the park. He's great. He's signing all these executive orders. He's getting shit done. He's undoing a lot of the damage that Donald Trump did. It's almost like you're a proud parent, watching your kid at the, at a play, right? You're sitting there in the front row with your camcorder. You're like, look at him go. That's my boy right there. That's my boy. And then he pulls his pants down and he takes a dump on the stage. And you're like, oh, shit. Damn. Why would you do that? 'Cause I had to go, Daddy. But I taught you better than that, man. Why you doing that? He's only my son on my wife's side. Excuse me. Yeah. So anyway, he still is our president, and I'm not going to throw the baby out with the bathwater. He still is, in my book, head and shoulders above. Holy shit! Think First just hit me with 25 smackaroos. Thank you, my friend. Thank you so much. That is super duper kind. So yeah, he's still doing a good job, and at point in this, his visit to Texas, not only was the timing right, he waited until after things had calmed down and smoothed out a little bit. He didn't want Texas to have to divert resources for his visit, because when a president comes to visit a disaster area, cops have to be reassigned and all these security considerations come into play. He didn't want that. And all too often, when there was a hurricane or some kind of flood or something going on, Trump just decided, I'm going to go when I feel like going. I'm sorry, Anita says, trim your bangs or get a hair clip. It's this wig. What can I say? Yeah, so he went down there and he visited the Houston Food Bank, and he visited some other areas. He got to talk to some local residents and talk about how they were dealing with the crisis, and to just reassure him this was part of his job is also to be the consoler in chief. Many of you will recall when there was like Superstorm Sandy, for instance, President Obama showed up in, was it New Jersey? Yeah, it was New Jersey, and talked and hugged Chris Christie, and Greg Abbott, he's the Republican governor of Texas. So him showing up and showing his support of Greg Abbott, who is a horrible governor, but still he is a governor in an American state. Joe Biden is doing the right thing as far as that's concerned. Moving right along, I'm trying to keep this thing going at a good clip. This $15 wage thing came to a crashing halt yesterday. And some will say not really, but yeah, it did. So that woman right there is Elizabeth McDonough. And I didn't know who Elizabeth McDonough was until today. Actually, I was today years old when I found out that she even existed. She is the Senate parliamentarian. And I was yesterday years old when I found out that a Senate parliamentarian was a thing, and that they are allowed to suggest what can and cannot be included in a bill. Kamala Harris, meanwhile, she can overrule the Senate parliamentarian. And I kind of felt like, do it. You got the power. Use it. Use it or lose it. Use it or lose it, right? However, the problem there is this woman here, Kristen Sinema, and not just her, she is not alone. It is also Joe Manchin. Kristen Sinema and Joe Manchin, that's not Joe Manchin, that's Ted Cruz. But look, that's Kristen Sinema talking with Ted Cruz. God damn it. I mean, you don't have to not talk to him, but why would you? Why would anyone willingly choose to talk to Ted Cruz? There's Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema. Excuse me. So those two people are against the $15 minimum wage. Why? I don't understand. I've said this 100 times if I've said it once, that $15 minimum wage is already lower than it should be today. It would have been fine 10 years ago, taking inflation into account. But regular working folks cannot survive on a $15 minimum wage as it is. And they're not even talking about uh, doing it today. They would not start that until 2025. So 4 years from now, when shit is even more expensive, it costs even more to survive, then they'll consider it. But 2025, who knows what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Who's going to be in the White House? It's not a guarantee that Joe Biden or Kamala Harris will be in the White House in 2025. That's I'm sorry if it's a shock to you, but it's possible. Some folks are asking if Dutch is a troll. I'm not sure if Dutch is a troll. Dutch says no. Dutch says no. Dutch, why do they think you're a troll? The name is very familiar to me, Dutch. I feel like you came up before, and perhaps maybe you said some things that ruffled the feathers of the audience. And Cindy says, no, Dutch isn't. Okay, Cindy vouches. Cindy vouches for Dutch. So anyway, they took it out of the COVID relief bill, and here's my thing. Why are we putting so many things into? And Samantha Hawkins is also vouching for you, Dutch. Dutch, you good people. You good. You good, Dutch. Excuse me. Yeah, why are you putting so many things that are unrelated to this important bill that you want to get passed? Just put the core things. Don't throw in funding for like a museum. I know, don't get it twisted. I understand that museums are important, and you know the arts are very important too. But if we're talking about putting some money in people's hands, just get what they call a clean goddamn bill. What's so hard about that? That shit should have happened already. That should have happened 2 weeks ago. I saw some people tweeting earlier today that said, you know, Joe Biden put bombs in Syria faster than he put checks in people's hands. And I can't argue with that. I don't care who it came from. I think it was a Trumper who said that. And you know what? I'm not going to admit it on Twitter, but yeah, you were right. You were right. So, yeah. So the $15 minimum wage is going to go on a separate bill. Hopefully they don't garbage that bill up with a whole bunch of other things that have nothing to do with the $15 minimum wage. So by this approach, they're saying this approach will almost certainly guarantee the passage of the COVID relief bill and the $15 standalone minimum wage bill. Let's see. Yeah, a simple bill, as Phyllis Hatch said. Yes. The real Beta O'Rourke wants to know, can people see my messages or no? So, yes, people can see them. Oh, wait a minute. I did something here. Let me see if this works. We all need that rescue package. Okay, so, guys, I set up this separate page here that shows everybody's messages, not just the YouTube messages, but also the Periscope messages, so you guys can see each other. Hi. Yeah, you guys like that? Yeah, that's good. All right, so excuse me. I will never understand why there is such resistance to a $15 minimum wage from people who, as many of you had mentioned, these senators, these Congress people make $173,000 a year, and you want to begrudge somebody $15 per hour? I forget what that adds up to in a year, but it's not even $30,000 a year. That $15 a year, you're basically right around that poverty line there. So you're not making anybody rich by giving them $15 per hour. You're just guaranteeing that at least they won't have to choose between food and utilities. I say that the folks in the Senate, they should have to, each one of them should have to do a trading places with somebody who is poor, somebody who only makes $7 an hour or $8. That should be mandatory. Don't rule on something that's going to affect a lot of people unless you personally know how that's going to affect them. Let's see if you can order takeout on, $10 an hour. Let's see if you can go sit in a fancy restaurant on $10 an hour. You can't do any of that shit. You don't have a disposable income. I would love to see that happen. I wish we could make that happen. Man, if there was any reason that I would ever consider running for public office, it would be just for that. Only for that. I would make it mandatory. I would want to introduce a bill in Congress saying that from now on, any financial decisions that we are going to make that are going to affect people that are middle class and below, earning, $100,000 or less, we should have to live the way they live. We should have to live within the means that they have. We should physically switch places with them. Here's the keys to my fancy house. Here's the PIN number to my bank account, and give me your EBT food stamp card. I will try to survive on this for 30 days. That should happen. That should happen. Walk in our shoes first. That is my rant for the day. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. All right. So what I want to show you now, I mentioned that there is a crazy tire burning festival going on in Orlando known as CPAC. It's terrible. It is terrible. All the worst of the worst people are collecting there. And here is one of the worst attempting to make a joke.
I gotta say, Orlando is awesome. It's not as nice as Cancun.
Oh, that's funny. I get it. It's funny because you went to Cancun and the rest of your constituents were freezing to death, literally freezing to death, and they were being devastated and they had no power. But your ass went to the Ritz-Carlton, and then rolled your daughters under the bus, rolled your wife under the bus. Oh, that's so funny, Ted. That's so funny. The worst of the worst. And then he ended his speech with he was trying to emulate William Wallace from what's that Braveheart movie, the Mel Gibson. Pathetic. Pathetic. Dude, I wish he knew how pathetic he looks when he does stuff like that. And I don't know, what is the deal with the folks on the right? You have to, everything is loud noises. We're making loud noises. We say it loud, it makes it more true. As what was that woman said? The best is yet to come. was ridiculous. And most of us are looking at that like, wow, lady, you insane. That's not a good look. Stuff like that destroyed the career, the political career of Howard Dean when he just went, yeah! Which was kind of goofy, but it shouldn't have, dashed him to pieces. But these people, that's like awesome to them. That's awesome. Here's another Kimberly Guilfoyle gem.
I will confidently say that President Trump from his desk at Mar-a-Lago will accomplish more for America in the next 4 years than Joe Biden and Kamala Harris could ever dream of.
Loud noises. What, really? From his desk in Mar-a-Lago, he's going to accomplish, first of all, is he going to be sitting at the tiny desk, that little one there? No, first of all, he didn't get anything done while he was in office. What he did the most of was criming and undoing President Obama stuff, which Joe Biden has already undid most of the stupidity that Trump did while he was in office. And he's not done yet, but he's got a good thing. Why the tone? Let's see. Yelling is compelling. Excuse me. Oh, Tree asks, why the tone? The media training was money wasted. Yes, indeed. The kids' table. That's right, Karen. So yeah, CPAC is basically.
And I know this might sound like a little bit of a downer.
Oh wait.
But we also believe in property rights.
Wait, before I show you that one. So that guy who was just talking, he was trying to convince his attendees, the CPAC attendees, to wear a mask, and I'm you know how that went down. It didn't go down well.
And I know this might sound like a little bit of a downer, but we also believe in property rights, and this is a private hotel, and we believe in the rule of law, so we need to comply with the laws of this county that we're in. But a private hotel, just like your house, gets to set its own rules. Carly, our CPAC director.
Well, as Dan mentioned, we are in a private facility, and we do want to be respectful of the ordinances that they have as their private property. So please, everyone, when you're in the ballroom, when you're seated, you should still be wearing a mask. So if everybody can go ahead, work on that. I know, it's not the most fun.
You have the right.
Hang them! No, they're shouting freedom! Like freedom? They couldn't have possibly introduced that. They couldn't have asked them more nicely, more gently to do yourselves a favor and don't die in this building. Don't transmit any deadly viruses from yourself to anyone else. Don't catch any from anyone else. And they were like, freedom, screw you, where's my pitchfork? We are the Defiant. Thank you so kindly for that whopping $25. That is very kind and very generous. Thank you. The real Beta O'Rourke says Marguerite 1 is a troll, but that is on Periscope, so I cannot I can't do anything about it. So speaking of which, I just want to say I'm surprised that we don't have as many trolls as I thought we would, especially when I mentioned on the title of the show that Biden bombed Syria. I expected all the trolls to come out in their Sunday best, like, I'm gonna troll Brooklyn, Dad. But this CPAC thing is kind of crazy. Do you see this crazy golden calf like statue that people were comparing. They were saying it looked like you took Bart Simpson and dipped him in gold. It's crazy. They're literally worshiping a golden graven image. This is one of the commandments, right? Like, thou shalt not worship any graven image. They just need to be smited. Here's another fun fact. Ted Cruz, right? Ted Cruz is probably like the dumbest guy. Look at this tweet he posted. The Republican Party is not the party of the country clubs. It's the party of the hardworking blue-collar men and women. He posted this unironically less than 10 days after he took himself and fam to the Ritz-Carlton during a winter crisis in his state. He posted that as though nobody remembers past a week ago. And somehow this passes for okay in the Republican Party. They are still clinging to the ghost of Donald Trump as hard as he's clinging to that flag there. It's unreal. It's unreal. If you have presidential aspirations, why would you continue to nurse the guy who has reduced your party to a smoldering pile of ash, just like Syria is? You know, Biden bombed Syria, but Trump bombed the Republican Party. He bombed them. And they're like, yes, can I have some more, please? It's insane. That is where the party is going. And it kind of scares me. It kind of scares me because they're spending this entire weekend at this event repeating the election lie. Just repeating it ad nauseum. And I caught a few clips of some Republican broadcasting shows, and they had to cut away whenever somebody said, and the election was rigged. They would cut away, and then commentators would say, we just need to remind you that we do not support any of the opinions or facts presented in this broadcast, and you should definitely research these things that are being said yourself. We in no way take any responsibility for the things that are being said at this conference. So they all know that they're selling lies. They're telling grown folks that Santa Claus is real. Let's see. We got somebody named Z that I just blocked on the Periscope. Yeah, 3 days of that. 3 days of that is insane. I would never. Yeah, and who said they're being? Yeah, Anita just pointed out they will be sued. There are people already being sued by Smartmatic and Dominion voting systems, and they're like, yeah. I'm going to say it some more, too. Match Slap is fake. They're all fake. They're all fake. So, yeah, overall, I thought I was going to be interested in watching this CPAC thing, and I'm not. I've already seen the most of what they have, and it's all just lies. It's like the Republican National Convention. Republicans used to have a platform, a party platform, at the National Convention. This last one, they didn't have one anymore. They don't stand for anything but Trump. They're going to ride him, ride or die. Whatever happens, that's where they're going. And good riddance, as Lindsey Graham said back in 2016, if we nominate Trump, we will be the Republican Party will be destroyed, and we will deserve it. And I couldn't agree more with you, Lindsay. You were right for a change. Like a broken clock, you were right that time. And now I'm going to do that let there be light thing. And before I forget, let me just let there be light. There it is. The real Beta Rock says there probably wasn't a single black person there. No, I've seen, every race has idiots in it. Sadly, despite our best efforts to represent, there's always one or two or a dozen that make the rest of us look bad. So yeah, there's going to be a handful of blacks in that crowd. Like what's her name? Candace Owens is one. Disgusting. All right, so let me remind you guys, if you have not already done, please hit that subscribe button and hit the thumbs up like a button if you are enjoying the show thus far. And I thank you for joining me today. And now it is time for No! Damn it! I'm going too slow. I totally forgot. Almost forgot, guys. Sorry. It is time for You Raggedy Bitch. And this Raggedy Bitch segment is Mitch McConnell because, God damn it, he said he's going to support Trump in 2020.
Well, there's a lot to happen between now and 24. I've got at least 4 members that I think are planning on running for president, plus some governors and others. There's no incumbent. Should be a wide open race and fun for you all to cover.
If the president was the party's nominee, would you support him?
The nominee of the party? Absolutely.
Unreal. Yeah, so I forgot Mitch McConnell. He is today's You Raggedy Mitch. And I had a bunch of pictures that I was going to show you, but I'm not going to subject you to his face. Mitch McConnell stood after the impeachment vote, after he voted to acquit Trump for his crimes. He then went and said, oh, yeah, but he is guilty, though. He said that. He's like, oh, yeah, he deserves full responsibility for inciting insurrection. But you voted to acquit him.
Well, that's neither here nor there. If Donald Trump is the nominee in 2024, I certainly will support him.
So, yeah, Mitch, you are today's Raggedy Mitch. And, you can be an honorary Raggedy Mitch along with Lindsey Graham. And let's see. I think I've forgotten my dun-dun-dun segment. Yes, there it is. Okay, so now it is time for the Littlest President. The Littlest President is available on BrooklynDadDefiant.com. It's also available. I got Sylvia. Good, she jumped. Also available on Amazon.com. If you want to get it on Amazon.com, it's fine with me. However, if you get it on the BrooklynDadDefiant.com, then you get this beautiful swooshy handwriting. Look how beautiful it is. And you get the text, Hui Juan. Hui Juan. Hui Juan. And let's see. The Littlest President is starring President Barack Obama, Hillary Rodham Clinton, Speaker Nancy Pelosi, Joseph R Biden. And the R stands for ready to kick that ass. Whew. Bladder bear pooping, holding the puppet strings on Spanky McDumbass. Complicit Barbie. Rudy Giuliani. Gummy McJuicebox. Kellyanne Conjob. Stephen the Snake Miller. And Mitch McTurtle McConnell. Raggedy bitch. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for our favorite page, because this is Spanky McDumbass. Spanky McDumbass is sad. He used to be rich. He used to be a businessman. He used to be a TV star. He used to have a Twitter account. He used to be the littlest president. But now Spanky McDumbass is in jail. How did he get here? Let's go back. Yes, let us go back, shall we? Certainly. Going back to this page for a reason. I usually have a reason going back to whatever page that I go back to, because it's a reason, whatever it is. Excuse me. Americans were so infuriated by the verdict of the trial, they quickly mobilized to beat Spanky in 2020. Hundreds, man, let me do this. Here we go. Hundreds volunteered. Thousands registered to vote. Millions marched to spread the word. Spanky did everything he could to change people's minds. He lied. He screamed. He tweeted. He bleated. He even tried to start a war or two. But America had already made up its mind. Spanky was the worst little president America had ever seen. Now, I brought up this page specifically for that he even tried to start a war or two thing. Because I'm not saying that Joe Biden is trying to start a war. In fact, why would he try? Why would he do that in the very beginning of his presidency? It makes no sense. He doesn't have to. In fact, he's trying to get America back into the Iran nuclear deal. And you don't do that by starting a war, by basically giving those people a reason to say, hey, wait a minute, you're going to come at us like that, then we're going to have to do something about it. So he's not trying to start a war. As many people said, his response was measured. And no, I'm not going to put any clown makeup on my face for believing them with that. It could have been much, much worse. It wasn't. It was like a targeted strike. I don't like it. I'm not happy about it, but it is what it is. That's that. I'm going to watch closely. If I see this shit start to spiral out of control, I'm going to be very, very angry and upset about it. I'm already angry and upset about it, Yeah, it takes some of the sheen off of our, President Biden's celebration. Damn it. Anyway, What questions do you have? I think I've gone a little bit over time. I got time for this many questions. This many, because I gotta get the Friday night movies and pizza night on. What movie are we watching? I don't even know. Something on Netflix. Yes. Hamid says Andrew Cuomo needs to resign. That is possible, actually. We talked about Andrew Cuomo a few days ago, and it looks like the scandals are beginning to pile up. So that does remain to be seen. I'm not too anxious to get any more Democrats to resign pretty much for anything, seeing as how the folks on the other side of the aisle, they're not playing by the same rules. They're not. In fact, they relinquish all rights to be outraged about anyone on our side's behavior. Pretty much. You still have people who were insurrectionists on January 6th sitting in Congress. So when they resign, we'll think about it. But until then, no. Let's see. The real Beto O'Rourke says, notice a lot of Democrats I follow showing buyer's remorse already on Facebook and Twitter. Yeah, you're going to get that. And I wouldn't be surprised, believe me when I say this, that some of the folks you follow on Facebook and Twitter, they might not be the folks you think they are. Our politics have been infiltrated by people in Russia who are looking to stir things up. But Brooklyn Dad, the election is over. Yeah, the election's over, sure. But the Russians, they didn't wait for 2016 to start their shit, to start posing as Democrats and Republicans and stir shit up between us. They posted memes that were viral, and they had just a kernel of truth in them that's good enough to make it funny and to make it stick. And that's what they did. And they hammered us. They hammered us with misinformation and a whole lot of that shit posting, and it's still going on right now. So when I see people on my tweet threads with a lot of venom and garbage and looking to incite, I immediately say, thanks for sharing. I'm just going to go ahead and block you. I don't even try to get into a discussion with them because that's what they want. They want to frustrate you. They want you to make you feel demoralized. They want you to question your choice. Don't question it. We picked right. That's it. He's not going to be perfect. But he's going to be more good than bad. Promise you that. Solid Blue Sister says, hey, BDD, people need to step back off of Joe. The far left wants everything now, and we are living in reality. I'm singing your words, Solid Blue. Joe will do what he set out to do, but give the man a chance. People need to step back. Thank you for that. I agree. I literally just said that a minute ago. Thank you for that. That's beautiful. I love it so much. Pink Iguana. Hey, Pink Iguana, what up? Says we did talk about MBS. Yes, and my apologies to this audience here who is so fantastic. We did not do a proper roll call today, and that's my fault because I chocked way too much stuff into the show. We'll get back to it next week. You guys know I'm good for it. I'm good for a roll call, damn it. Natalie Bierman is asking, so why did he bomb Syria? We did discuss this earlier, but the Cliff Notes version is that it was a retaliatory strike from something that happened earlier this month in Iraq. Last question is Fox Hill Dreams asks, how many wigs do you have? Let's see, this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, and I have one. I can't wait to show you guys. It's so much fun. But I'm not gonna wear these every day. I just like to switch it up from time to time. But there's one that is funny as hell. I will show you guys soon. And hey, Scribble My Nibbles with the $5. Oh, I just want to say, I have this new feature where you can you can contribute, donations, and the money will be used to improve this show. There are things that I'd like to do, and your money, like for instance, what do you call that? Those subtitles, closed captions. I did it for 2 videos earlier this week, and it's kind of cool. I'm not going to do it yet, but at some point I would like to be able to do that. It makes it a very different re-watching experience, because I do re-watch these at night to see how I look. What did I do? What's the temperature in New York? I don't know. It's probably about 40 degrees. All right, you guys, thank you so much for a lovely, wonderful episode of Storytime with BDD. I'm your host, BDD, aka Brooklyn Dad. If you must go out this weekend, please be sure to bring an umbrella if it's going to rain. I think it's going to be raining here this weekend. But also, more importantly, wear your masks, two masks, wear your gloves, keep your social distance 6 feet or better, and have a most groovy, awesome weekend. I'll see you guys here again on Monday. I love you very much. Peace. Huh. Thank you, Stephanie. $5. Thank you. Melissa, I see you gave the answer. The U.S. soldier was killed. That is correct. Thank you. Melissa said I need a mohawk. That's actually a good idea. Kevin Reavers, thank you so kindly for the $5 donation, my friend. Hey. Ha. Oh yeah, don't forget to like. I always forget that. Hey. Star Shumaid says, I do love this music. You'd be surprised. Sometimes I'm humming this at night before I go to bed. True story.